Shadow of the Erdtree. There are 3 guaranteed facts in life. Ubisoft is trash, something else, and FromSoft never misses with a DLC. And after years of anticipation regarding what's next for the award-winning game Elden Ring, its DLC Shadow of the Erdtree finally came out. But did it live up to the hype? Let's find out. Much like diving into a painting in Mario 64, FromSoft lets you jump into a world where every scene resembles a work of art. The DLC takes you to the Land of Shadows, which is defined by its dark and oppressive environments, offering a striking contrast to the landscapes of the base game. Featuring huge environments, high mountains, atmospheric areas, lush and vibrant fields, it is just a visual masterpiece. I mean, there's literally a place with a bunch of fingers sticking out of the ground. How they managed to make that look good, I don't fucking know. But while the visuals draw you into the world, the real innovation lies in its map design. Unlike the base game, which features a larger and more straightforward map, meaning you could easily reach a location simply by moving forward, the DLC introduces a shift towards a more vertically structured map where you'd often have to navigate through complex paths to get to where you want to go. Basically, if you want to go north, chances are you'd have to go south first, which is a design choice that can both enhance but also hinder the exploration experience. I say enhance because the complexity of the map can make it feel more rewarding to reach a certain destination. And with the amount of missable content you can find along the way, exploration can be very satisfying at times, almost mirroring the satisfaction of beating a boss in this game. However, I also say hinder, because the intricate map design can also lead to multiple dead ends and some convoluted routes that can leave players lost. I mean, I was trying to unlock the entire map and somehow found myself in front of the final boss. Don't ask me how it happened, it just fucking did. Something else that can completely hinder the experience is just how many empty areas there actually are. And while there are also a lot of empty areas in the base game, they are a lot more apparent in the DLC, which might make sense lore-wise, but from a gameplay perspective, left a lot of the early exploration very unsatisfying. Now, one thing FromSoft vastly improved upon were the legacy dungeons, which reflect the verticality of the map design. I mean, I think that these are some of the best designed areas of the entire game, with my favorite probably being the Shadow Keep, showcasing a towering structure with interconnected levels that adds depth and complexity to navigation. Each dungeon offers a unique aesthetic, creating an immersive experience, and is designed to set the stage perfectly for the amazing boss fights. The DLC features several new bosses that push the boundaries of creativity and challenge. Challenge may be a bit too much apparently, considering how many bad reviews the DLC actually got when it was first released. I was playing Elden Ring not to get stressed, but to relieve stress. What? Check out my reading bad reviews video in the description below. The DLC includes 10 remembrance bosses, which is only 5 less than the 15 in the base game. Notably, you do only need to defeat around 3 of these bosses to actually finish the DLC, which offers a lot of players more flexibility. Each of these fights presents a unique challenge, the Divine Beast being one of the earliest bosses you can fight, who sets the bar high for the remaining encounters. One thing I really like about Elden Ring in general is how reactive the bosses tend to actually be, because it comes off a lot less scripted, which is a design philosophy they maintain in this DLC. The fights range from feeling like full-on dances to being punishing yet fair. There are also annoying boss fights like that piece of fucking shit hippo gobbling me up like blah, 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 blah. And of course, the DLC also features battles on an epic scale. Now, one thing about me, and this might be a bit of a controversial take, but I never was a fan of gigantic boss battles in the base game, especially not dragon ones. I think there's about one dragon fight in the base game that I really enjoyed. It was with the biggest dragon as well, so you know it's hard. However, the DLC introduces a completely missable boss fight, which is the pinnacle of dragon encounters. Yes, I'm talking about BAYLE. This is one of the optional boss fights which is so intense and just filled with intricate mechanics, making it a highlight of the DLC. Yes, one of the hardest to find bosses is a major highlight of this DLC. And just summoning Egon to fight with you. It's peak! Week! There are just so many new things this DLC adds. And speaking of new things, one of the most exciting aspects of Shadow of the Erdtree is the addition of the new weapons and items. From Software, of course, being known for its creative weapon design, and this DLC does not disappoint. I mean, we have so many new weapons, each with unique abilities and movesets that add a fresh dynamic to the combat. These range from great katanas, offensive shields, dual blades, literal hand-to-hand fucking combat, and another one of the highlights of the DLC, throwable weapons. Yes, you basically have Thor's hammer in the game. The weapons they added add so much variety to the way you can play. I mean, I literally had to start New Game Plus because I ran out of larva tears respecting my character and trying out so many different fucking builds. The new items introduced in the DLC also add a new layer of strategy, which makes exploring the world of Shadow of the Erdtree even more rewarding, as you never know what powerful new tool you will get next. Although I will say this, a lot of the early rewards of this game are very underwhelming. I mean, the amount of times I picked up a fucking cookbook or a smithing stone is insane. Especially considering that 1, crafting isn't really a highlight of the game, and 2, by the time you enter the DLC, chances are you've already unlocked all of the smithing stones in the round table hold, meaning you could just fucking buy them. Now, this is definitely one of FromSoft's best work to date. However, there is one last thing that kind of bothered me, and that's the new leveling system. I like the idea of having a brand new way to level up. However, I don't like the fact that they just added Sekiro's leveling system to the game. I was always more of a fan of the complex way to level up in the Soulsborne genre, and when I played Sekiro, honestly, I wasn't a huge fan of it. Albeit in Sekiro, it doesn't really let you change your build, so it does work for that game. Elden Ring, however, is a different case. With so many potential builds and the addition of new weapons and items, the basic leveling system sort of feels out of place. Honestly, I think that it would have been better if they just stuck with the regular leveling system like they have in previous Soulsborne DLCs. A prime example, of course, being the Old Hunters, which also allows you to access it mid-game, but is more scaled towards end-game characters. Now, don't take my critique as me disliking the DLC. I love Shadows of the Erdtree. It's not afraid to take risks by trying some new things, some of which might not always work, but I'm never against the idea of trying something new. Shadow of the Erdtree is a visually striking and ambitious addition to Elden Ring, with vast improvements in dungeon design and wealth of new content. It's not without its flaws, however, its strength in artistic direction, boss encounters, and gameplay variety make it a worthwhile addition for fans of the series. They basically made a sequel which is just small enough to be considered a DLC. It is cheaper than drugs, but just as addictive. And to answer the question I asked at the start, did it live up to the hype? I believe so. I give it a 4 out of 5. Highly recommended. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. Leave a like, subscribe, and tell me what you guys think about Shadows of the Erdtree down in the comments below. I appreciate you, and I will see you in the next video. Goodbye. Fucking kidding me? This fucking chair. Can you fucking believe this shit? Fucking piece of shit chair, motherfucker. To a voice to